Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I am making a one-pot quinoa stew, I guess. The ingredients are very versatile. You can pretty much throw everything but the kitchen sink in here, like any vegetables you have on hand, any seasonings. This is really versatile. But I, for the most part, followed a recipe that I'll leave a link below, as well as everything I used today in the description box. But I followed a recipe online, the base of it, but I added like this bag of oriental vegetables. I added some garbanzo beans and fire roasted tomatoes. You know, I switched it up a little bit. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be making today. I decided to go with this because one, we were already making this for dinner, but very inexpensive and very filling. Like, there's a lot of protein in here. In fact, I will gather up exactly how much protein and I will put it here. So yeah, let's get started. First thing is I'm gonna put the stove on to medium heat with some Earth Balance vegan butter. My favorite butter, tastes just like the real thing, and yeah, definitely a staple for vegans, or if you're transitioning from, you know, dairy and all of that. This is really good to have in your house. So I would start with, I don't know, eyeball it. I don't really measure things, in case you didn't know. I don't know, a couple tablespoons, I guess. All right, so we're gonna medium heat and then let that melt a little bit, and then we're gonna add our diced onion. I wish I had like multiple angles so you guys could see like when I'm back here on the stove, but I mean, this is gonna be such an easy recipe. You're kind of just like dumping things into the pot and that's it. I decided to be a little extra fancy and have things already prepped and ready to go, just to make it easier. So right here I have 2 small onions cut up, diced. A little plate with all of the seasonings that I'm gonna be using, minus salt, because I like to just do that with my new salt grinder that I got. All right, now that it is pretty melted, the pan's still warming up. That's why it's not sizzling, but that is okay. The recipe called for bell peppers with the onions to saute, but I don't have bell peppers on hand. I do have this, a little bit of my oriental stir fry bag that has like baby corn, peas, carrots, broccoli, and there is some bell pepper in there. Not much, but since there's about a cup and a half worth of veggies left, I'm just gonna throw it in the pot as well. Oh, fail. I'm not really good at multitasking. I don't know if you can tell, but okay, I'm gonna come back once this starts cooking up and everything is nice and soft. Okay, now that the vegetables have sweated a little bit, we are going to add, come on lighting, there you go. We're gonna add our tomato sauces. So right here is about 3/4 of a can of fire roasted tomatoes. There you go. Fire roasted tomatoes with seasonings. So we're gonna throw that in there. I have a can of tomato sauce, 15 ounces. We're gonna do vegetable broth. Now this is 4 cups of vegetable broth. I think I'm gonna do 2 and then see where we're at. I'm gonna do a spoonful, a good heaping teaspoon of this Better Than Bouillon. Sorry, the lighting's not really good right now. Better Than Bouillon no chicken base, which another staple. These aren't really staples, you know, but if you're transitioning to veganism and you like to cook, this stuff is so good. Like, I use it in almost every sauce-based dish. It just has so much flavor, and like it smells like chicken stock, you know, minus the violence. So a heaping teaspoon of that is going into the pot. Now in this dish, I have an assorted variety of spices and seasonings. I have a tablespoon of chili powder, a teaspoon and a half of cumin, a teaspoon of garlic powder. We have about a quarter teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, a pinch of black pepper in there, and that is about it. So we're gonna add this to the pot. Give it a stir, and then we're gonna turn the heat on a little bit higher to about medium-high heat and let it come to a boil. Once everything's come to a simmer, then we're gonna add our quinoa. I have about a cup, a little bit more than a cup of quinoa, so we just dump it in there. Let's lower the heat down to about a 4, little under medium. I'm gonna give it a stir. Don't you love how the pot spins when I do? Like, what is going on here? So now we're gonna put the lid on and let this cook for about 15 minutes on medium-low heat. While the dish is simmering in the pot, I wanted to talk to you about something else that I'm adding to the dish. Now this is 100% optional. You don't even need this, you know, for added protein. There's a ton of protein already in this one pot quinoa dish, but we just love the flavor of this, and yeah, we have no self-control. So this is Beyond Meat, Beyond Sausage to be particular, and this is the bratwurst style. So what I did was I put the pack in the air fryer for about 8 minutes or so, just because they were frozen and I wanted to get them, you know, pliable so I could cut them up. So I cooked them for about 8 minutes until they got, like, you know, warm with a little crisp on the outside. And then, as you can see, I cut them up into thin slices. And now I'm gonna put them back into the air fryer for probably no more than like 5 minutes. Shaking them halfway through just to get them nice and crispy, and then I'm gonna add them to the dish like last minute so they don't start getting soggy. So yeah, if you haven't tried Beyond Sausage already, you must. Like, if there's one meat alternative, I've already said this in another video, but if there's one meat alternative that tastes like identical to the real thing, it is this. Gordine is up there too, but this stuff is on a whole nother planet. Like that. All right, let's see the progress. Okay. Now that it's been simmering for about 15 minutes, a stir. Now here I have drained and rinsed 1 can of black beans, 1 can of pinto beans, 1 can of garbanzo beans, and 1 can of corn. So that's a pretty hefty amount of goodies, not to mention loads of protein. Oh goodness, trying to master this with one hand is not the easiest. I'm gonna mix this. Okay, once you have everything stirred, we're going to let this simmer uncovered for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then once it's been that long, I'm gonna add in the sausage, and we're gonna taste it and see if it needs any more seasonings and spices. Okay, while we're waiting for everything to simmer, I want to make some tostones, which is basically plantain. Now that I'm thinking about it, are you supposed to use green or yellow? I think it's green. It calls for green plantain, which luckily we have. So I'm going to, let's see, can this go back any farther? Now, I've never made these before, and I've had them. I've just never made them. So we're just gonna kind of experiment together. Now, from what I heard, tostones, you generally deep fry them, but I'm gonna use an air fryer. I took the sausage out, so now it's just kind of like the grease from the sausage, which I don't mind. So I'm gonna cut it into, I don't know, like 1-inch pieces. I'm gonna throw this in the air fryer for a few minutes, let it get nice and soft and crisp up. And then when you take them out of the air fryer, or like your deep fryer, then you smash them down and then put them back in to fry, get nice and golden brown, and then you top it off with salt as soon as they get out, so the salt could stick to the grease or the oil. So yeah, let's see. And if you're wondering why I'm looking so mismatched with my jewelry, I was going through my jewelry box and found some pieces that I haven't worn in a while, so I kind of just threw them on and never took them off. Like this ring, there's bracelets, you know, we got a lot going on, but it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna taste the broth to see if it's seasoned enough. Smells good. Whoa, that is good. You know, me being a salt addict, literally, this is really good, because that, sorry for my hand shaking, that chicken base paste that we use, that really gave it that flavor. We don't even need to add salt, but I'm gonna add, I got this from Home Goods for like $5 and it's huge, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, just a pinch. This is to taste, so I'm not gonna show you that part. And then I will be right back. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes. Can't really see, but I don't even know. I guess I'll use a spoon. It's kind of looking like a fail. So what I might do is just smash them all like that, and then I'm gonna add some coconut oil. It's kind of fun. Oh, that looks a little bit more put together, but still awful, you know. Whatever. A bit of coconut oil and stir it around, just so they don't like dry out, because they look a little dry, you know. So I'm gonna put this back in for a few more minutes, just eyeball it until they get nice and golden. And in the meantime, it's still simmering away, but I'm gonna throw in the sausage now. Oh yes. She's looking a little thicker. So it's thickened up a good bit, thankfully. I was starting to worry a little bit that I put too much liquid in, but oh yeah, it's looking awesome. Look at this big pot. Just what we wanted. We wanted leftovers for a few days. Oh yes. Okay, it's a little loud now. I had to turn the AC on because the smoke detectors went off for the first time being in this place, and I got a little fright, not gonna lie. It scared the shit out of me. Okay, so here is the final product. I don't want to tilt it too much, but oh yeah, big bowl of goodness. We have a baguette on the side, and I threw the crispy plantains on top. Why not? Okay. Let's give it a little taste test. You know, I can't end the cook with me video without trying what I cooked. So I have a little bit of everything on this bite. Oh, that sausage though. Cheers. Look at Abby. Yo. adding the crispy Beyond sausage to this definitely makes it so much more delicious than it already was. Like I said, you don't need it. You don't need everything that I, you know, put in here. You can add whatever vegetables you have at the house, you know, that you need to use up in the fridge or freezer. Your own favorite can of beans. You could do rice instead of quinoa. This is so versatile, but you know, this is what I did today. This is what I had on hand, and pretty awesome. Quinoa is a superfood. It's just very healthy. And the earth balance butter that I used in the beginning, you can use, you know, if you have oil on hand, just make sure it has a good smoke point, just in case. You can use oil, you can use, you know, whatever you like in place of the earth balance butter. You don't have to use that. You can use another kind of meat alternative if you like. If you want to do tofu or tempeh, seitan, a Gardein product, anything. Or just forego it altogether, because the protein from the beans is just enough. And from the quinoa. The plantains weren't a complete fail. It does taste good. I added salt as soon as they came out. And yeah, I can't wait to enjoy this and watch a TV show or a movie with Brandon. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this cook with me video. First cook with me in the new apartment. Yay! Yeah, many more to come. Stay tuned for that. If you liked this video, please leave a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe, you know, if you want to see more of this, more of me, and all vegan everything. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are in this lovely world, and I will see you very soon. Bye.